Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Market Breakdown. Now, guys, on this session, we are going to be taking a look at all of the pairs that I've already analyzed that I'll be focusing on for this week. So I'm going to be breaking those pairs down and also forecasting for my entries in advance. So without wasting any time, let us begin with our session. So first, let us start by looking at what the DXY. Now, guys, we are not trading the DXY. We're just using this as what as a confirmation bias to confirm anything that has US dollar related to it. So this one, as we're jumping on the weekly, what are we seeing? You can see that price is coming from this impulsive movement, and then it gave us what this is our continuation pattern, and then price from the breakout, and then it started to climb up to the upside. So this is having what a high probability of continuing to climb all the way up until the 90% roll. And now as we're jumping onto the daily time frame, so on the daily, this is how price is looking like. Price is giving us what this small continuation pattern, forming a breakout, climbing up, and give us what the second continuation pattern that formed the breakout, and then it also climbed up. And then now finally, this is what our final and current continuation pattern that is at the breakout point. So this is also what the high probability of climbing all the way up until what the 90% row. So now coming on to our mid-time frame, what are we seeing? So on the mid-time frame currently, we are not having any pattern that we can use to structure. So we'll have to drop into our lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, we're not having anything except for previously this continuation pattern to the upside. As you can see, once it broke out, it climbed up, and then this one, which did not play out as we anticipated, because we're waiting for this to break up and impulse up. But unfortunately, that did not happen. So all we have to do now is focus for another entry, which would have to look like this: price impulsing up, forming this continuation pattern that we use as our confirmation bias in the breakout to confirm that price is having what high probability of being bullish. So that is it on the DXY. Now let us begin with our Forex pairs. Now our first pair of the day, we are having what the New Zealand dollar over the US dollar. So this one, jumping onto the weekly time frame, what can you see? So this one, I'm seeing that price is giving you this continuation pattern to the downside. That's from the breakout. So this is having a high probability of impulsing all the way to the downside. And now jumping onto our daily time frame. So on the daily, what are we seeing? So previously price gave us this small continuation. Price broke out and then it impulsed down, and now currently we are seeing this as what is having our continuation pattern that is near the breakout point, meaning that once this breaks out, this will be having a higher probability of dropping all the way down. So now as we're jumping onto our mid-time frame. So in the mid-time frame, what are we seeing? So on the mid-time frame, we do see that price did come from what this heavy impulsive movement and is currently forming what continuation pattern. Now this continuation pattern, once it breaks out over here, then this would be having what the higher probability of impulsing all the way to the downside. So now let's jump onto our lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, what am I looking for in order for me to execute an entry? First, a small impulsive movement, then a continuation pattern near the breakout, just before the trend line or after the trend line would be sufficient in order for me to execute my entry in the breakout of that pattern, stop loss above it, and my take profit all the way to the downside. So guys, this is how I'm looking at what the New Zealand dollar over the US dollar. Now moving over onto my next pair, I'm having what the Great British Pound over the New Zealand dollar. So let us jump on the weekly and begin our way down. So this one on the high time frame, you can see price give us what this continuation pattern to the upside. As you can see, price broke out, forming a retest. So this overall is having what the higher probability of continuing to impulse all the way to the upside. Now jumping onto our daily time frame, what am I seeing on the daily? Price coming from this impulsive movement and then giving us what this continuation pattern that broke out. As you can see, price also broke out over here, forming a mini retest. So overall, this is having high probability of continuing to climb up until the 90% rule. And now jumping on to our mid-time frame. So in the mid-time frame, price is coming from an impulsive movement once again, giving us what this is our continuation pattern. And as you can see, price already broke out. So this is having a high probability of continuing to impulse all the way to the upside. And now we're jumping on to what our lower time frame. What are we looking for in order for us to execute an entry? First, an impulsive movement, and then a small continuation would be sufficient. And then this is how we look to enter. Once we have a continuation pattern, then we look to enter on the breakout of that pattern, our stop loss below the pattern, and our take profit all the way to the upside. So this is how I am looking at what the Great British Pound over the New Zealand dollar. Now onto our final pair, which is what the Canadian dollar over the Swiss franc. So in this one coming into the weekly, what are we seeing? Price came from what? An impulsive movement to the downside and then give us what this descending structure that's from the breakout. So this is having what the high probability of continuing to climb all the way to the upside. And now coming on to the daily. So on the daily, you can see that price give us what? This first continuation pattern that broke out and then price impulsed up. And then now currently, price also give us what? This is a continuation pattern. But on this one, we are waiting for price to give us what? A breakout. So once we have a breakout on this one, that is when we have focus on what? On those buys in the lower time frame to the upside. But yeah, guys, this is how my watch list is looking like. I'm having CHD, CAD, CHF to the upside, and GBP and ZD. Also, this one I'm focused on buys to the upside, and then finally NZD USD. I'm focused on sales to the downside on this one. So this is the end of our session. Hopefully, it was very informative and you did learn something from this session. So what I'm going to do, I'll be sending our trade ideas screenshots on this one onto our VIP members, and I'll continue to update them throughout the day as price continues to develop. But as for the rest of you guys, I'll see you once again on Wednesday for the midweek market update. But for now, this is the end of our session, and take care, guys. I'll see you next time.